looking for a 22 caliber pistol, just something I could kind of plink with at the range that didn't break the bank. And one of the clients that I have let me borrow a Smith Wesson SW22 Victory. I'm a personal trainer. I own a gym, and a client of mine was fortunate enough to let me borrow the SW22 Victory. So this is the threaded barrel model. It's kind of an interesting firearm. As you can see, kind of looks like a Ruger Mark IV type style. You got fiber optic front sights, if you can see them. So fiber optic front sights. You've got the 3-dot like tritium rear sights. Now this is not loaded, so obviously I'm going to make sure the firearm is not loaded if I'm cleaning it. So that's what we're going to do. So I did shoot this the other day. I took this, I believe yesterday, to the range. Put about 200 rounds through it. It's $15, right, for 200 rounds, which is why I want a 22 caliber pistol with the price of ammo. So I'll talk a little bit about what I like about the firearm and a little bit about what I don't like. It's kind of an interesting looking firearm. It's heavy, so it's 36 ounces. It's a 5.5 inch barrel. It's obviously you're shooting 22, which is obviously a very small caliber, and it's a very dirty round. The rimfire 22 is long rifle is it's dirty. So 200 rounds, and I have to clean it. So you do have to deal with that. Obviously, with the gun this weight and this size. There's like no recoil. Obviously it's a 22, but there's no recoil. This is the threaded barrel version, so you can suppress it, and obviously that would be damn near silent, like a fart in the wind. So that's kind of cool. There's the thread cover. There's a threaded barrel. I believe this gentleman uses a suppressor on it. One thing I will say about the sights, I wasn't too thrilled with the tritium rear sights. I prefer this blacked out so I can just focus on the front sight. It's easier for me to maintain focus on that front sight post. So obviously that can be changed, and it is an adjustable sight. You see the screw there. And the safety is another issue, right? So this safety here, literally the first round I clicked the safety, and I was kind of aware of that the whole time I was shooting. So there is that. The frame is full size, and it's only 10 rounds. So for the size of this, you're actually only getting 10 rounds. So there's that to consider as well. A lot of 22 caliber pistols anywhere near this size, you're going to be hitting maybe 15, 17, or even 20 rounds. So that's something to consider as well, the low capacity given the size. It is very reliable. So 22 long rifle is also known for a lot of light strikes, misfires. So I didn't have one single misfire with this firearm, which is also something to say. So that I did enjoy. I do have a rifle that's 22, and I do have a lot of misfires on it, a lot of light strikes. Didn't actually run into that problem with this. So it's kind of up to your opinion whether you think this is attractive or not. For me, I think it's interesting. The trigger wasn't too bad. So again, nothing in the chamber. We'll go ahead and fire this. You can see, I'll show you this side. So you can see it's a pretty crisp trigger. There's not a whole lot of take up. There's a definitive wall, and there's not a lot of creep, and then you get a nice crisp break. So I did enjoy that. And to be honest with you, I kind of shot this like dog shit. I don't know why. I'm assuming it was me, so it could have just been me. But the groups were pretty tight, but I was shooting to the right. I wasn't really pulling or anticipating, just because there's like no recoil on this firearm. So it was pretty smooth. I didn't feel like I was anticipating. But honestly, for me, I had a really hard time with the sights. The rear sights were very distracting to me, and the front, as you can see, the front fiber optic sight is kind of small. Being that it's a small caliber, I suppose it should be a little smaller. So I'm assuming it was me and not the Firearm. But you know, being a 5.5-inch barrel, it should be quite accurate for the size. And you know, so I'm assuming it was me, but because the groups were relatively tight, they were just off to the right pretty much consistently. So I'll put up the target that I shot with yesterday. But other than that, I believe you're hitting about $469 for this threaded barrel version. The takedown of this firearm's kind of unique, so we'll go ahead and take it down. I'm going to give this firearm back tomorrow, so I'm going to clean it really quick and give it back nice and clean. I think you can change the grips, I'm not sure, but I'm looking at the overlays on it, so it looks like you can. But let's go ahead and take this down. It's kind of an interesting takedown. It's really only held together by a couple set screws here. So got the Allen wrench here. We're going to go ahead and take this down. So it's just one screw here holding the slide to the frame, which is it's interesting. It's not what I'm used to. This is also an internal hammer fire. It's not a striker fire. So there's the set screw there, and this comes right off. Right, almost falls apart. There's the frame. You can see them taken down. There is the spring. Right, and here's the long barrel piece. So you got the chamber and the barrel. And again, this is only held together by, excuse me, one set screw. It's right there. So we'll go ahead and take that down as well. I'll keep these screws separate. So here it is right here. Taking this set screw down, we'll take this barrel out. So it's pretty easy. Obviously you need the tools to do it, but other than that, it's pretty easy. This screw comes out. So now this just comes right apart. So it breaks down. We'll get these mags out of here. You can see these are the 10 round mags. You know, the 22, you've got the nice easy load built in with the spring. We'll get those out of here. And we'll go ahead and clean this. I'm going to throw some gloves on because I don't want any of those chemicals on my skin. And we'll go ahead and we'll take a little look at this. Just clean it. I'll show you how dirty it got from about 200 rounds. Again, $15 is fucking crazy. So I love that about the 22. That's why I'm in the market for a 22 pistol. Something that's reliable for change and not all those misfires and light strikes that I always get. Let's see if we need a very small size here, which I don't even know if I have for the barrel. I don't even know if I have anything that small. Yep, here it is. Maybe. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have anything small enough for a 22 right now. Nope, maybe this. I think this is small enough. You can see how small the barrel is, and it's kind of interesting being that it's kind of one piece, and you can change out a threaded barrel with a regular barrel pretty easily. I think the regular model is maybe $50 or $30 cheaper. So, but it's nice to have that option, being that it's a 22 and it's suppressed would be very, very quiet. Yeah, I don't have anything small enough for the. I don't have anything small enough for the little 22. So we're just gonna throw a little bit of oil in. I think I may use a kind of a wooden. Let's see right here. Just kind of a wooden stick to go through there, and just to kind of go around circularly in a circular motion, and we'll clean it that way. That's all I got right now. I have to get something smaller for that, so we'll go ahead and hit everything else. Got a cleaning square, so I'll use a gun cleaner. This is just the hops kit cleaner. All right, got a little square, and we're just gonna wipe down the internals here. So this isn't too bad, but you can see right in the chamber is where I got quite a bit of buildup. So there's the internal hammer. So unlike a striker, this one is an internal hammer. So strikers are typically quicker, but I didn't really mind. I didn't really mind that in this firearm. It was very reliable and it was quick enough. So wipe that down real quick. Let's see, we'll go inside this piece as well. Just trying to wipe down any of the carbon or any of the discharge from the round. So there's that, a little bit more. All right, so here, as you can see, the build up there from the rounds. All right, so we'll get any of the carbon there, just to prevent any misfires. Now, the application of this firearm, obviously it's big, and it's only a 22, so it's not going to be a carry firearm. You know, if you had maybe small game, you could use it for that. Other than that, it's really just kind of target ammo. You know, be it like match, like where you're in a competition, or just you don't want to break the bank, which for me, that's why I want one. So I'm not, every time I going, I'm not spending a few $100s on ammo, which is just crazy. So that, to me, is worth it. And you still get all the, you know, practice, etc. And it's kind of fun to shoot. So to mix, you know, maybe some 9 or 45 in with shooting a 22, I think is a good choice. There you go. All right, so I'm gonna just throw a little gun cleaner on this, basically this wooden stick, and we're just gonna go down this barrel and kind of rotate. I have to get something that's small enough to go inside of this. All right, so that's all we're gonna do for now. So it's not too bad. All right, and now we're just gonna throw some oil on. So we're gonna throw it on all the metal on metal contact points. Typically, don't throw this inside the barrel or the chamber. And I won't play with the internal hammer there either, but I will make sure that any metal on metal contact points has some oil. That way it's running smooth, no friction. So I'll go here as well. It's kind of a cool firearm. If you're going to target, now if you want something, like I like to carry a lot of different firearms. With a 22, I wouldn't carry it often. I couldn't say I would never carry it, but if I did, I would want a really high capacity. And there's so many other choices, 380, 9, 45, that it's kind of like, why? So I can't say I would carry that often. If I was walking my property, I may carry it just, you know, maybe, I don't know, bofu frogs or something that's poisonous to your dog, something like that. I don't know. But I certainly wouldn't be carrying a 22 caliber as a carry firearm very often. But the choice is yours if you want it. So let's start putting this back together, right? So it's kind of a daunting thing here, but we're gonna just slide this piece inside here, and then let's see, this right here, you can see this little tray. It's kind of interesting, but the screw actually kind of hooks in there more or less, and it keeps that from the barrel from coming out. And we're gonna throw this set screw, throw this set screw back in, and then we're just gonna tighten it, make sure it's real tight. Now another thing I'll say is, after about after the 200, right before I went to the range, I tightened the screw holding the slide to the frame, and after the 200 rounds, it was loose again. So it was loose before I shot. I tightened it, and then it was extremely loose again. So you may consider that also. All right, so now that that's on, this is just going to go right in here, and this actually stops this from coming out. And it's got a spring in there, so it springs back. All right, so let's see. You can see this piece right here just sets right inside. There we go. I think we got it. Oops, that's a safety. Yep, you can see that hole lines up inside there. We're going to go ahead and throw this screw in here. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then that's basically it. Nice and tight. Obviously, you don't want to strip those. Alright, if the glove don't fit, you must have quit. Alright, so now it's back together. So this was wobbling before I went to shoot. I went ahead and tightened this with this screw here, and no more wobble. Shot about 200 rounds, started wobbling again, but so it's running again. Running like a sewing machine. So all in all, kind of a cool firearm. Again, it looks and feels a lot like the Ruger Mark IV. Kind of relatively middle of the road price, being like $469 for the threaded barrel. Excuse me. This would be really cool with a suppressor on it. It would be obviously like a fart in the wind. It'd be so such a little sound. That's kind of cool. The capacity again is a little lower on this one for the size, being 10. This is more of a target firearm. So obviously you're not going to carry it. It's, I don't want to say novelty, but it's certainly for training. However, if you're training with this, it's not going to be close to something you're going to carry. So keep that in mind. You know, I like to train with the firearm that I'm typically going to carry. So something, similar to like at least some type of striker or hammer fire that's maybe closer to a compact firearm, or me, I like to carry a lot of micros. So for full size, you would have another application as well, which I carry some full size firearms sometimes, and they're good for home self defense. This one's kind of like really mostly target, but kind of cool, interesting to check out. I'm glad I was able to borrow this and shoot. I didn't shoot the best with it. I think it was me. Again, my groups were tight. However, they were mostly to the right. So it could be, again, the aiming system, being that I wasn't super comfortable with the rear sights. They were a little distracting to me, being that I was trying to focus on that front post that is fiber optic. But cool firearm, sitting around $469. I don't know if there's any other deals going on for this firearm, but another quick look.